Hello, and welcome to Valorant Lore Series. Let's have a look at Viper this time. I understand that I'm probably taking too long to upload these videos, but this is the best I can do at the moment. As I tend to play each character, personally, and examine every situation, in which the characters engage in conversations with each other, this takes significantly more time. Plus I record my own footage, and since I'm really bad at this game, it may take hours or maybe days. That being said, let's take a look at the second founding member of Valorant program. Viper. This is the official bio of her. An American chemist, Viper deploys an array of poisonous chemical devices to control the battlefield and cripple the enemy's vision. If the toxins don't kill her prey, her mind games surely will. Not to overstate the obvious, but Viper seems to be founding member of Valorant program, along with Brimstone. The third member, as already stated, is suspected to be Omen. Viper's real name is Sabine. The only other person to call her by that name is Omen. Now given that Valorant is kind of a military operations program, it would be an obvious protocol to refer to other agents by their call signs, and not by their real names. However, Viper seems to have disregarded this completely. Since Omen seems to know enough about Viper, we can say with some certainty that they both share a little intimate relationship. This relationship appears to be a more of friendship beyond their professional one. As Viper appears to be a scientist at Kingdom, who got involved into the field activity some point later, and Omen appears to have spent an extended time in Kingdom's labs, presumably being experimented on. Although Viper doesn't seem to have any Kingdom logo on her extremely body-fitting suit, which shows her links to Kingdom, but Viper does feature heavily on founder cards alongside Brimstone, and also, she calls the map, Split, as her home. It's been speculated that the map, Split, is probably Kingdom's regional headquarters in Tokyo, Japan. Thus to think that she has some ties to the Kingdom is an understatement. She appears to be practically a family for the Kingdom. One can draw some parallels between Viper and typical a scientist turned supervillain, closest being DC's Poison Ivy. Another interesting thing to note is that she uses the gadgets embedded in her suit to use her abilities, unlike other Radiant agents who can utilize their abilities in more practical manner without having to rely on gadgets. This makes us wonder if Viper is really a Radiant herself. Omen remarks that both of them are monsters. Which brings the point that Viper isn't just a human or Radiant, but something more than the both. But if these were assumed to be the result of her experiments, whether they are from before or after the first flight is currently unknown. But a very solid speculation can be made that Viper could be a Radiant, but her abilities are not directly suited for combat. Perhaps an entirely altered physiology to better handle poisonous or toxic environments. Apart from Brimstone and Omen, Viper doesn't seem to interact that much with other agents, whether this is because of her self-absorbed personality, or the lack of time due to her other duties, is also currently unknown. Another interesting thing is that Omen remembers that Viper's skill set was complete opposite before the current events of the game, which is more likely to be reference to a scrapped character concept. But if taken at face value, it appears that Viper had indeed been experimenting with poisons and toxins for a while, and was physiologically already altered to be more than a human, even before the events of First Light. Viper also seems to have taken a liking to her, bad girl or kind of a villainous persona. She often mocks her opponents in much darker tones compared to other agents. And that's about everything I could find about Viper so far. I am sure more will be revealed in the future. In that case, I will upload more detailed or updated versions. But let us hand that problem over to my future self for now, and enjoy the game and lore so far. With Killjoy about to be released very soon, I can't wait to see the advances the lore and storylines will make in the next act. Of course, a lot of you seem to have trouble understanding some terms I have used into these video series, like Valorant, Radiant, and First Light. I am planning on making a video that clarifies most of these terms, but since the chronology of events leading up to the Ignition Act 1 is currently in question, I choose not to address that for now. Knowing Riot, they will soon have an agent, That predates all of these events, and studying that one is most likely to give us all the answers we need. Not gonna lie, I had hoped that Brimstone would be that one man who's seen and known everything, and he probably is, but he sure seems extremely tight-lipped about it. A lot, however, can be gathered from other agents like Phoenix or Cypher, who are a bit more willing to share such information. That's enough for now. Hope to see you guys around. If there's any other little fact I have missed, be sure let me know in the comments down below. As usual, like, comment, share and yes, subscribe. The video about the next agent is already underway.